So one of my really good friends, we actually met in high school, freshman year of high school. He loved the gym, loved working out. He was very mindful about what he ate, what he didn't eat. He and I would get workouts in together. We would go on runs together. And so he was very fit, loved it, passionate about it. But then over the years, he stopped working out, stopped eating properly, and gained a lot of weight, right? So we were actually just talking the other day, and he wasn't or isn't doing too well physically. So he's locking back in, right? And being more intentional about his health. But for the last like 3, 4 years, honestly, yeah, I'll say 3, 4 years, maybe five. I've been telling him, I'm like, bro, like, let's get back at it. Like, let's work out together. You can come to the gym with me. We can go for a run, go for a walk. And I'm telling him, like, bro, you got to start, like, you got to get back at it. You can't just keep eating these things. It's going to catch up to you. Nah, bro, like, yo, we still young. Like, it doesn't matter. We still good. And then I'd be like, nah, bro, like, you got to get back to it. Anyways, this has been going on for like 3, 4 years. Honestly, maybe 5 years as well. And I'm like, hey, when are you going to get back at it? When are you going to start working out again? And he will always say this, literally every time. Say it's a Wednesday. I'm like, bro, when are you going to get back to working out? Oh, on Monday. I'm going to start on Monday. All right. Monday comes, didn't work out. So I check in on him on Tuesday. Yo, did you start working out? Nah, bro, but it's already Tuesday. You need a fresh start, right? And he's hilarious. He's like, you need a fresh start. It's studies show. I don't know about any of these studies, but he likes to say that. Studies show it's better to start a new habit at the beginning of the week. So I'm going to start on Monday. And so this is back and forth for like the last 4 years. So that was one of his excuses. The other excuse would be, bro, I can't start working out yet because I haven't ordered my supplements. I haven't ordered my protein. I need my creatine. I need my electrolytes. There's no point. This literally was it. There's no point in working out if you don't have your supplements because you gotta refuel, your body. Because when you're lifting weights, you're breaking down your muscle. And if you don't have protein powder, then what's the point? It sounds like I'm making this up, but this is legit. The other excuse, this has been going on for like 4 years. I'm like, bro, got to get back at it. When are you going to start working out? Say, I'm going to start on Monday. I got to order my supplements. And then he would say, not yet, because I got to buy healthy groceries. He's like, what's the point in working out if I'm going to be eating junk, right? So I got to wait till Monday when I go grocery shopping and I got my healthy food, my lean meats and all. Okay. Why am I sharing this about my boy? And he's probably going to watch this and it's all love, but this is just a good story or example to help people. Is my boy was waiting for the perfect conditions to start. The problem with that, though, is the perfect conditions will never arrive. He was waiting for the perfect conditions, but the perfect conditions never arrive. So there's this quote I really like, and it's a good plan violently executed now is better than a perfect plan executed next week. A good plan violently executed now is better than a perfect plan executed next week. My boy needs the supplements. He needs the healthy groceries. He needs all these different things, right? Before he can start. The conditions need to be perfect for him to begin, but those conditions will never come. So if he just takes action now, if he would have taken action now, next week he would have saw benefits. 2 weeks from that, he would have saw benefits, and he wouldn't be in the situation that he is now with some of his health issues. Okay, why am I sharing this? Is because oftentimes we wait for the perfect conditions before starting. Problem with that is that the perfect conditions never arrive. We need to have the best workout, right? Or the best workout plan. We need to do our research on which exercises we need to be doing at the gym. So we delay going to the gym because we don't yet have the perfect workout plan. Or like my boy, we don't go to the gym because we don't have our supplements yet. Or we don't start the business because we haven't done enough research, right? I got to do my market research, which yes, there's some value to that. Or I got to read more books on how to start a business. Well, what about taxes? Well, what about tax deductions? Well, what about this? What about that? What about this? What about that? And I think and I'll speak from experience. The problem is we're telling ourselves we're planning, right? Oh, I got to do my research on how to start a business. I got to do my research on the tax codes or deductions or business bank account, all these different things, right? We feel like we got to have all of our ducks in a row before we start. The problem with that, though, is we're telling ourselves we're planning, but really we're just procrastinating. We're telling ourselves we're planning, but really we're just procrastinating. I like this quote from Layla Hermosi. I've been listening to a lot of her stuff lately, her podcast. I think is really helpful, especially for business owners. If you want to learn more about creating systems and leading and managing people, I recommend her podcast. But a quote is this: clarity comes from motion. Clarity comes from motion. I share that quote because oftentimes we get stuck in the preparation mode where we feel like we got to read all these books, we got to take all these courses, we need to know every detail of the business we're going to start or the industry we're going to get into before we begin. But clarity comes from motion. You don't always know what you need to know until you start. For example, I wanted to start this podcast 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I wanted to start the podcast, but I told myself, you know what? Things are a little busy. Like business is picking up. Things at work were picking up. I'm like, all right, let me wait till things die down. Let me, ministry work that I do was busy. I was busy with that. So I'm like, I need to wait. I need to wait for it to kind of just, for things to slow down a little bit. In other words, I'm waiting for the perfect conditions, right? And I remember getting stuck in the preparation phase where I'm like, all right, well, what mic do I need? What camera do I got to use? All right, let me go on YouTube and do some research. And then you kind of go down this rabbit hole. And I was telling myself I'm planning, but really I was just procrastinating. So clarity creates motion. So when you take that first step, then you find out what your second step needs to be. This other quote I really like: if you wait until you're ready, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life. If you wait till you're ready, you'll be waiting till the rest or for the rest of your life. So I don't know what that thing is that you're procrastinating on or that thing that you want to start, but you're telling yourself, I'm just doing research right now. I'm planning, I'm preparing. My question to you is, are you truly planning or are you procrastinating? Are you truly planning or are you procrastinating? My advice, and I wish I would have done this sooner with certain things, is just start. Clarity comes from motion. You don't know what your second step needs to be until you take your first step. And so take the risk, prepare, plan for sure, but don't let that preparation or that planning morph into procrastination, and the perfect conditions will never be there. So take action, even though you might not know what your next 5 or 10 moves are, because clarity comes from motion. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I love interacting with you guys. If you get value from this, please share it with somebody. That being said, this is your boy, Driven by Growth. Peace.